Right. As soon as your stream is live, it's going to be live on Africa Arena Wide.
Great.
We've push notification, so let's see.
Yeah, it's live.
Great. Well, thank you, everybody, and thank you, Africa Arena. Thank you very much for working with us to get the word out about them. Let's get started. Good afternoon, good evening, everybody. Welcome to The Nest. I'm Jim Chu, and I'm streaming live with participants from around the world. And we are featuring Tunisia today with two great companies from Tunis. We also have new angels from before we get started, do a quick set of announcements about future episodes. We can go to the next slide. Oh, shoot, you lost me. Yeah, I'm going to turn off my camera. Oh, can you hear me now?
Yes, perfectly.
Yeah, we do.
Okay, perfectly. So sorry. Okay, so let me, so great, upcoming events. So we have next week, the Francophone Nest, meaning we have a nest in French in partnership with My Africa Startup. And the week after that, we have we have the Nest East Africa focused on several companies from East Africa. And a week after that, we have Christmas break. So please join us. It's the same time, same link, and we look forward to seeing you on the Nest. Now, over to some technical announcements or technical tips. This is an interactive forum. We really do want to hear from you. And so please use that chat box, tell us what you think, introduce yourself, and let's hear your feedback about the company. Now over to the angels for today. Hassan, would you like to introduce yourself?
Sure. Hi. My name's Hassan. I'm a founder at Plus VC, which is a new venture capital firm that's focused on investments in the Middle East and North Africa. I've invested in over 180 startups over the last 3 years. Prior to this, I helped establish 500 startups operations across the MENA region. Super excited about this. We've already done one investment out of Tunis, Debji, and we are looking forward to do a lot more in North Africa.
All right, thanks, Hassan.
Great.
Yeah, I'm taking
Go
over.
ahead, Kian.
Yeah, I'm taking over Jim because his connection is unstable. Hey, my name is Kian. I'm co-producing the show with Jim. Very excited for the Tunisia special episode. So let's go ahead and introduce our second angel, Rajiv. Do you want to introduce yourself?
Fantastic. Yes. Thanks and hi to everyone joining. Rajiv Jaya. I head the investment team at Founders Factory Africa. We are a pan-African incubator and accelerator, as we like to call ourselves, venture builders. We invest predominantly in fintech and health tech. We've invested around $7 million thus far into 20 tech startups across the continent. We also look forward to building, co-building a lot more and being a lot more active in this ecosystem going forward. Wonderful to be here.
Great. Thanks a lot, Rajiv. And finally, Christophe Yarno, CEO of Metis Group. Do you want to introduce yourself? Christophe, I think you're on mute.
Well, hi guys, Christophe. So I'm an entrepreneur based in Cape Town, South Africa. I've been here 17 years now, and I've created a half a dozen ventures in the tech space. Also founder of Africa Arena, which does a lot of work in connecting investors with entrepreneurs. And I'm looking forward to this. Incidentally, I know Tunisia a little bit because I've invested in Tunisia since 2012, and I have a company operating there with about 15 people, mostly in the data space. So, you know, I know all the wealth of skills and talent there is in this beautiful country. So looking forward to that.
Nice, amazing, Christophe. thank you so much for the investors for tuning for accepting the invitation. This episode could not have happened without the help, the partnership, and the support of Flat6Labs Tunis. So I'm gonna go ahead and give the mic to Yahya Houri, who's the managing director of Flat6Labs Tunis, to introduce him, the accelerator.
Thanks, Kian. Thanks, Jim, and thank you guys for the initiative. I think it's a good opportunity for our entrepreneurs. So I think this week is Flat6Labs Tunis. A couple of weeks ago was Flat6Labs Cairo. So Flat6Labs is a network of accelerators and VC funds. So across the MENA region, we've invested in 300 startups over the past 8 years, and we manage about $50 million split into several funds. As Hassan mentioned, we actually have a co-investment together in Dapchi, so it's actually great to get your support on that, Hassan. I think Dapchi really appreciates that relationship. I won't say anything about the two startups that you'll be meeting today, but they're very, very different, and it's a pleasure to have been able to support them over the last few years. But otherwise, we're really excited to be here, and thanks again for the investors who are on the call, and hopefully you guys find anything of interest where you see value and you see potential and like to support these guys as well. Thanks again, Kian.
Great, amazing, Yahya, and thank you again, Flat6Labs Tunis chapter for your partnership. I see a lot of new names and a lot of new faces in the audience who are tuning for the first time. So maybe I should briefly introduce the Nest. It's an initiative that started in April this year amid the COVID-19 lockdown, when it got very hard for entrepreneurs to raise funds via Zoom with investors. So we said, maybe we should create a space, a proper space, and to connect entrepreneurs with investors worldwide and allow them to pitch. And we opted for this open format of Zoom. As you can notice, it's not a webinar, so anyone can open the video, can open the mic, and speak. You can post questions on the chat. It's very interactive, and we've run episodes every single Thursday since April, so more than 30 or 40 episodes. And overall, the startups that keeps at the Nest raised more than $2 million. And it keeps growing. As I told previously, we just got another startup raising from a VC fund who attended the show. The investors here are not just the three who are highlighted, Hassan, Christophe, and Rajiv, but also other investors in the audience. And if you are interested by any of the startups that are pitching, you can send us an email. We're gonna connect you with the entrepreneurs. We make all the matchmaking and all the introductions right after the episode. Enough of me talking. Now let's go ahead and introduce our founders for today. We have Ahmed bin Ashballah, founder of Mumi, and Emin Larousi, founder of Eco. Hey guys, sweet, very, very excited to hear your pitches. Ahmed, we're gonna start with you. You have exactly 5 minutes to pitch. The counter will start as soon as you share your screen. And after that, we're gonna have 10 to 15 minutes Q&A with the founders, with the investors. Good luck, and we're excited to hear your pitch.
Thank you, Kian. So I'm gonna start. Are you seeing my screen? It's okay?
Yeah, perfect.
Okay, so hello everyone. Thank you for inviting us. I'm Ahmed, the founder and the CEO of Mumi. We are a Tunisian agri-tech startup, and we operate in dairy farming and related businesses, what we call the dairy ecosystem. So what are the challenges in the dairy ecosystem in Africa? Two main challenges. The first related to dairy farmers, that is poor management. You can see here where poor management leads, for example, during the dumping of extra milk production because there is no place to stuff it. And the second is poor data. And here you can see a supermarket row with a paper saying there is no enough milk, so please take only one packet. So what we have done, we said, let us get back to the basics. Let us connect the cows and engage everyone. So we built this color. This is a color coupled with a cloud platform. Farmers are able to manage, to get alerts and measure performances of their dairy farms. And what happens next is that other shareholders like dairy processors, vets, etc., said we want to empower dairy farmers as you guys. And we need to monitor this particular data. We need this particular feature. So we responded to those market needs with Moomi Business, our second solution for all dairy businesses, and where we offer them to manage farmers, get predictive analytics, and have a proven value for their businesses and as well for their clients too. And our predictive analytics is based on a unique data set in the market because we aggregate data from all the dairy ecosystem. Our business model, we get margin on selling colors with optional subscription for extra features for Moomi farmers, and as a SaaS model for Moomi business. About the market in Africa, we produce about 25 billion kilo per year as milk. And our consumption is only 15 kilogram per year per capita, while the recommended amount is 200 kilogram per year per capita. And this is why the dairy product and milk revenue is growing by 12% on a yearly basis. The competition is composed by big players that are focused on developed markets with big-sized farms. And new players may focus on small farmers, but the best of our knowledge, there are no proven cases of full inclusion of the dairy ecosystem shareholders until now as we do. Interaction, what we have done so far, we embarked the ATIV, the Tunisian Association of Bovine Inseminator in 2019. We embarked big names such as Tekna, a global leader in animal additives, Daily's Danone, the Tunisian dairy processor leader, and lately a milk collecting center as a proof of concept for other 200 milk collecting centers. With the ATIV, for example, we have exclusive access to the dairy cows, all the dairy cows in Tunisia. With Daily's Danone, we empower their field advisors with data, so they do targeted actions. Our growth strategy, the funds will be used for sales and marketing in Africa, with incentive programs for dairy businesses to embark their affiliated farmers. Then for customer services to empower small farmers with local advisors and experienced farmers. And the last one is to put on the market the first self-installable packages for small farmers. This growth strategy will be executed by our co-founder with 10 years experience in sales in Africa. As I said, our customers are also our partners. I added here just academia such as agricultural school, the Tunisian Vets Order. About media, we have been featured in global and local press and won the first prize in 2018 Tunisian Agritech Challenge. So about the team, we have a well-balanced team with many disciplines, business management, finance, livestock, software, AI. And for each discipline, we have an experienced member. For funding, we are, the current round is equal to 500K USD. We already committed, we have 150K USD committed between Flat6Labs Tunis and the local investor, looking here for 350K USD. We have about 50 farmers as clients, 4 big businesses, and looking for legal in dairy business in Africa, expertise in dairy value chain, and ecosystems in Africa. So this was Moomi, and thank you for listening.
Right on time. Thanks a lot, Ahmed, and great presentation. Congrats for the milestones achieved so far, and long journey ahead. Can you please keep your sharing your screen, and slide where there's the ask and all the numbers, so that the investors can keep looking at that during the Q&A.
Okay.
Now, yeah, let's give the floor to our investor for a Q&A session. Who wants to start? You have questions for Ahmed?
Sure, I can start, I guess. The key question that comes to mind is why are you doing this? Like, from your background as a team and stuff, there didn't seem to be any link with the dairy farm production. So what makes this interesting to you and you the right team to be solving this problem?
Yeah, Hassan. Actually, I came from a farming family.
Mm-hmm.
So when I used to be a kid, I see how farmers are struggling. I mean, small farmers in emerging markets. And after that, I didn't think about that until I entered the Founder Institute program here in Tunisia. And one of the ideas came to my mind. This is it's Mumi, how to empower small farmers, how to bring technology to them, how to help small farmers keep up with technology, and that's it. It started in 2018.
Great, thank you.
Cool. I can pick up from there. So congrats on what you've done to date. Is it? Am I seeing it right? With $55,000 so far, you've sort of generated the traction you have and built the business you have. Is that all on 55,000?
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Actually, we don't take any salaries as founders. We manage to our way with our financial, with our meanings, and the 55K we get actually from Flat6Labs Tunis. All have been put in developing the product, to studying the market, or just for paying juniors. As seniors, we don't take any money from the company until now.
Fantastic. Okay. So what will be helpful to understand is if I break up your business into 3 segments. Number 1 is the collars or the devices themselves.
Yeah.
Secondly is the analytics and the SaaS platform that comes with that. And then third is there is a product or a service that you have for the vets, which on your website looks like a separate element to the business. I'd just like to understand how you're thinking about the interaction of those 3 and how they come together. And more importantly, on the unit economics side, it'll be helpful to understand the devices, the cost of getting them out to the farms, what they cost. Is there any IP that's associated with those?
For the first question, if we split the solution, there is the colors for the farmers, and the SaaS platform actually is for every other shareholders of the dairy ecosystems, including the vets. So the vets logs in, they find the feature that are dedicated for the vets. Dairy processor advisors, when they logged in, they also found the feature they are using on their daily work. So for each one of them, we have dedicated feature, and all of this is under Mumi business and as a SaaS model for the business. How do they interact? Actually, for example, we have use cases of interaction between those all shareholders. First of all of them, they interact with the farmers, because they for the vets, they make visits to the farmers to cure the cows, for example. And if the farmer has colors for his cows, the vets can access directly to the data of the cows and, for example, make his diagnosis based on that on the data on the cows. For example, the dairy advisor, the same thing. So he has the farmers, a portfolio farmer. So even though with the color or without the color, he already has enough data to for his own business. For example, how many births we're gonna have next year, how many cows we have. so he can link that to the milk production for his own business as a dairy processor, or one of his tasks, dairy processor, actually they are empowering farmers because to secure their supply on milk. So he can use the platform to give targeted advices, or to make targeted field trips based on the data he has, not making let's say usual trips or automatic trips without knowing what he's doing.
Okay, great, thanks. Christoph, anything from you?
Christoph, you're on mute again.
You know, the pitch is it went very fast. If I just focus on the highlights, you know, you're saying you're in a $3 million valuation, which is 6 times your last valuation. You've only raised 55K, and I understand you have 50 customers, but I'm not sure how much revenue you generate. You know, as an investor, I'd like to ask you, you know, make me dream now. What's going to be my return? So if I put 100K in this business, at the rate the valuation is growing, I feel very comfortable, but I'm not so sure that I understood your key differentiator. There's lots of businesses doing this at the moment. You know, I think I've seen maybe just in South Africa, 10, you know, easy. So what's your key differentiator? Why are you only focusing on car, by the way? And secondly, what's your go-to-market strategy? Because it's not clear to me whether you're addressing only the Tunisian market or North African market or Africa or the world or the galaxy. So can you just explain to us these different things, you know, from you know, differentiator, go-to-market, and how we're going to get to a valuation that is already fairly high? And you know, I want 100x return. So how are you going to hit the $300 million?
Christoph. The differentiator is that we aggregate data from all the dairy ecosystem, from the vets, from the dairy processors, from milk collecting centers. So we aggregate a very heterogeneous data.
Okay, and so what?
And so we give unprecedented predictive analytics for all those shareholders.
Stakeholders,
okay.
The farmers or the down the food chain?
Down the food chain. I mean the shareholders, the other shareholders, but the farmers.
Okay, I don't know who that is. Clarify, who's your customer, the farmer or some other stakeholders?
All of them.
All of them, okay.
Okay,
so and then
all of them.
Go-to-market strategy to talk to all of them?
No, our go-to-market strategy is to replicate what we have already done in Tunisia, is to talk to key players in the dairy ecosystem, such as vets, dairy processors, or a technician inseminator, bovine technician inseminators, for instance. Okay.
Okay, let's see. And that's only on the Tunisian market?
No, in the African market.
All right, but each of these markets is different. So when I ask about a go-to strategy, is to take that differentiator that you've mentioned to multiple markets, scale it, and get the company to a size that is going to be, you know, substantiating the valuation that you are you know, projecting in the future for an investor. You know, investor is at the end of the day someone looking for return and potentially also impact. But
yeah, but actually the investor maybe we are looking for investors that have already invested in agtech. Return over investment are much more longer than other businesses in agri-tech. So these terms or these intervals are comprehensible by an investor that is specialized in agtech or agri-tech.
Ahmed, I think just a point of feedback based on the questions that Christoph had. I think you know, it's impressive what you've done with 55K so far. I think it's really important as you continue the narrative and you continue to talk to investors. I think it's really important what his question on the go-to-market strategy, really about saying, well, who along the value chain experiences the biggest problem that's going to be solved by my solution? Am I going to go to the Danone and say, look, you are purchasing, it's going to save you at the end of the day a lot more for your end product if you help me get this out into the farmer ecosystem. Alternatively, you can start at a farmer level and say, here's why you should be doing this. It's obviously going to cost you a lot more for the latter strategy if you're going to sell the product by going bottom up. And so it's very important to articulate in terms of your go-to-market and how that ties into your value proposition, who benefits the most from this, and how that then ties into how you're going to go out and sell either through a B2B or B2C sort of model.
Okay. Actually, Rajiv, until now, the problem is so big that all the shareholders of the dairy ecosystems are asking for the solution. And for each one of them, we resolve a burden, and this is the market. We are not going to neglect that and say we will focus with that or with that. We don't have enough data to say we will only focus, for example, with farmers, not for dairy processors. I give you an example. For when we started Mumi for farmers. And then we developed Mumi for business. We monetized Mumi businesses before Mumi farmers, for instance. This is the reality of the field. This is the reality of the market. And we are making our way on monthly basis to see how it goes. But at this stage, we don't have enough data to say we will go only with farmers or only with dairy processors or with the other shareholders.
Thanks so much, Ahmed. I think probably
Hassan, you're muted.
Yeah, sorry. Hi, Ahmed. Thanks so much. There's one thing that I'd like to ask is related to your sort of customer acquisition strategy, right? So I think this is a follow-on to the questions before, is, you know, how are you acquiring the customers that you've got? How much is it costing you? What is the process of onboarding these customers? How long does it take to onboard a customer and get the revenue start to generate from them? Just walk me through that whole process from identifying someone all the way till they pay you.
Actually, all the customer we had until this day, we did not spend a penny to acquire them. They are all organic. It's a field advisor that found out our solution by Facebook without even sponsoring that our page. He talks to the farmer calls us. We just made a small investment on a fair in 2019 where we get some contacts, and everything started from that. For marketing, we for all you have seen, for Billy's Danone Group, for Tekna, for the farmers we had, for the milk collecting centers, we did not spend any dollars to acquire them. This is why I cannot respond to your question. And because the problem is so big, everybody knows about it, came to us.
So then just the follow-up to that is, I have seen quite a few competitors in the market that have done something similar to yours. Your competitors' comparison slide wasn't that clear, I think, in terms of what it is that you provide that's much better than all the other players that are in the market. I think you talk about the overall, you know, stakeholder ecosystem being involved, but I think that someone could come in with more resources and acquire that same sort of ecosystem that you're working in. And when you go into a new market, it's going to be very difficult for you to sort of replicate that if there's other players and competitors that are doing there. their work there. So, these are two areas I think maybe it's important for you to have a very clear idea of what your whole process is for sales, how long it takes, and just really have data around your entire customer acquisition strategy, and be much clearer in terms of your competitive advantage. I think, maybe, I saw that your app was in Arabic language, so maybe that's a competitive advantage. It just, from that slide that you showed, it just wasn't that clear why I would go with you rather than, many of the other players that do exist. So that would be my advice.
Sweet. Thanks a lot for very precise and relevant questions. Before moving to your final decision, would love to share some of the questions from the audience. Okay, quite a lot came. Okay, yeah, I've got 3 questions popping up at the same time. But yeah, let's start with the last one. Wissam Othman is asking, what was the main challenge or the big challenge or difficulty that you've been facing during the very first steps?
The main challenges was to put an AI model in production that can bring value for farmers. And here in Tunisia, because we have a good team, so it was access to finance. Those are the main challenges. A little bit technical for challenge 1, challenge 2, access to finance.
Okay, thank you. And then we have Firaz Zirbi and James Mateka, who are asking quite the similar question, which is, since you're only targeting, farmers with technology, you're supposing that these farmers are tech savvy or can use anything technological, versus what we know in Africa, like most of the farmers are not tech savvy, do not know how to use these tools.
Yeah, that's a good question, because we think about that from the beginning, since 2018. Actually, we managed to have a very, very simple, friendly solution, first. And second, the market or the farmers, we are seeing the next generation of farmers taking the place of their fathers and mothers. So basically, the farmers that are using our app, our solution right now, they are between 25 to 35 years of age. So they are already tech savvy. They have mobile phones. They have 3 or 4G connection. And this is why the adoption from the farmers especially was possible with them.
All right, sweet, thank you. It's time for the final decision, quote unquote. We've seen different decisions happening. I would categorize them in 3 buckets. So there's the direct, yes, I'm investing, and this is how much. The 2 is like, I'm interested, I want to go into deeper due diligence, let's have another talk next week. Or the 3rd one, which is, this is not interesting to me, and here's why. So who wants to start?
Yeah, sure. This is an area of interest to me. I actually like ag tech and things that are using technology to make just generally people's lives better in areas which are usually overlooked by tech startups. I would like to learn more, but I do know that there is significant competition in this area. So I would like to understand a lot more related to that. So yeah, there's some due diligence to be done, I guess.
Sweet, thank you, Hassan. I'll be personally making the introduction right after the show. And yeah, let's see what happens during this due diligence process. Rajiv.
Yes, I'm going to follow from Hassan's lead there, and I agree with his sentiments around the importance of the industry and the sector. I mean, anything that we can do to leverage innovation and technology to contribute to food security and a lot more efficiency in that value chain will be great. So it's also a sector of strategic priority for us going forward. I also would like to understand more around some of the questions I asked earlier around the unit economics and scalability of this particular solution and how that differs to some of the others that we've also referenced. So sitting on the fence there.
Awesome, sweet. We have two investors sitting on the fence. Christophe, what do you think?
I'm not on the fence. I think it's very clear to me that the team has a lot of value. What they put together in terms of product value proposition, and for me, what is quite unique is what they are doing with overlapping multiple sources of data, and doing something that could be extremely powerful in terms of the impact on the yield and the performance and so forth. But the issue for me in this presentation is the fact that it's not clear. There are two things that are not clear. One, who's the customer? I think the customer is the farmer. I think we shouldn't confuse the stakeholders, and the customers of the farmers with the actual customer. If it's the farmer, then I think you have 50 customers. You gotta focus on making sure that you're building with a feedback loop with these guys, something very powerful in terms of what you could show as a business case. Because I think that's going to be the foundation of your future business, and that's the one thing that I think, is a bit confusing, and maybe it's because it's too short. We would need to spend a couple hours on this. The second thing that is not clear to me is this all, where is this going? What's the go-to-market strategy? Which markets? How are we going to address them? I know it's complicated at the beginning and you're only at the beginning of your journey. Okay, no problem. But you got to be pretty clear on where you're going and what's the end point if you want to get there, because if you don't have a plan to get there, you're just going to iterate all over the place. So I'd say, my feedback would be, I'm happy to help you. We have an incubator in Cape Town called the French South African Tech Labs, which actually have a couple of businesses in that segment, and we have quite a lot of information. So if you need support to get into the South African market, for example, we'd be happy to get our team on a call to help you and give you some feedback, and then later down the road when it's more ready, connect you with some other investors in our network. But well done. I think don't give up. It's got a lot of potential.
Sweet. That's the nicest no I've ever heard. But yeah, it's always good to, even when passing on an investment, it's good to offer help. So thanks for doing that.
I might come back.
Yeah, you might come back. You never know. Excellent. Thank you.
The one thing we want all investors to do more is that a quick no is sometimes more valuable than a long drawn out yes. So there's value in a quick no.
Hell yeah, I definitely agree. All right, thank you. That was, Jimmy saying, I heard come back later. You never know. Sweet. Well, that was our first entrepreneur. Great job, Ahmed, again, and good luck on the journey ahead of you. I'll be making the introduction right after the show. Let's jump into the second entrepreneur. We have Amin here, founder of Echo. Amin, are you ready?
Absolutely, I'm ready, yes.
Sweet. Awesome. You have exactly 5 minutes. Good luck.
Hello, everyone. I'm Amin Laroussi. So we at Echo, we are supporting all the activities around what we call the aircraft interior, the cabin, from the design, the configuration, up to the certification of the aircraft interiors. So first we want to, it's not moving. I want to first start with by looking to the past. So this is the blueprint protocol. It was the state-of-the-art technology where the industry have made all the method and the processes to create aircraft interior design and verify all the requirement and certification according to that. Then the tools start to come. So here we can see 2D tools. Then the industry try to use 2D tools more advanced to make aircraft configurations. And today, the state of the art is to use what we call the computer-aided design software or computer-aided engineering softwares like AutoCAD and CATIA. So the output is what we can see on the right here, is the floor plan of the aircraft interiors with all the parameters and components that need to be maintained during the 25 years of the life cycle of the aircraft. So it's only a report, it's PDF. And this is why the industry is suffering to create aircraft interiors design in a very easy manners. It involves a lot of stakeholders. So from one party, we have the airframers like Airbus and Boeing. We have the suppliers that create aircraft components and refurbishment, like seats, galleys, overhead compartments, and all what we can see when we fly to the aircraft. So it involves thousands of components, and there is 100 safety and security procedures that need to be validated to make aircraft fly safe. The consequence of it is that it's time consuming. It takes months and even years sometimes to generate multi-proposals and validate one aircraft configuration. The industry is using offline collaboration tools on desktop. They are exchanging file by different format, using PDF, drawings, and generating tools. So just one example of one safety procedures. It's called the direct view. The steward has to oversee 80% of the passengers. And today, it's verified by people using softwares and making outputs like, well, as you can see, it's a static output to verify the percentage of the view of the steward to make this aircraft safe and certified. So our solution is a web-based cabin platform. It's easy to use. It uses drag and drop technique. First, we start by digitalizing the aircraft interior, so the cabin. As you can see here, there is some red messages. So the user is already notified if there is any error, and it's collaborative. So users from different companies that are collaborating in the same project can chat, can share projects. And this is how we automate the direct view. So in a couple of seconds, the users can verify such compliance according to the regulators. So we at ECO are trying with our Cabin Online platform to define a common language for all customers. So the cabin suppliers, they develop the cabin furnitures. So they put it on the airframes from Airbus or Boeing or Bombardier, and then they offer it to the airline and leasing companies. Therefore, the airline and leasing companies sometimes are trying to make a couple of proposals. The CEO of Lufthansa Technics said that for one aircraft, we are creating 50 to 60 different aircraft configurations to choose one best among the others. Our business model is a SaaS from 4,000 to 9,000 euro per year. And we're also charging 1,200 per aircraft. So the market is growing. It's forecasted that the number of aircraft will double to reach 45,000 in 2038. Our addressable market is 14.3 billion, and we are targeting the engineering and certification market, which is estimated to be 3 billion euro per year. None of our competitors is providing means of full collaboration or instant co-working around the cabin design. So we're more advanced. We automated the certification rules. So the users are guided along the design process automatically by our certification module. we generate Camel layout very fast in an easy manner, and we offer a real-time synchronization where different stakeholders can connect on this smart space and make the configuration and simulation together. So far, we have raised 750,000 euro. We signed multiple NDAs with Airbus, Lufthansa, and some of the regulator and certificator in Europe. Our first customer is Airbus. We made 110,000 euro income up to now, and we started since the summer different pilot projects. 2 airlines from European airlines and 2 regulators, one in Germany and the other one in UK. And we have today 8 different aircrafts already digitalized and hosted within our platform. And one project has been executed. We recorded 90% faster in terms of creating the configuration compared to the manual methods. So I am the CTO. Badia Dandan is former CEO P3 Group France, with more than 18 years in the aviation industry, is our CEO. We are supported also by Nourdin Madi, who was former Airbus Business Unit Manager and our cabin system expert. And last but not least, Mr. Habib Fiqi, who is the former CEO of Airbus Middle East Africa and our chairman. Our team, we have 6 talented engineers supporting us and 14 advisors worldwide. So this is the key metrics. We have 5 users today. It was 4 2 days ago. Now we have 5 users in the platform. Our churn rate is 7 months. We raised $800,000. Our monthly cash burn is 15,000 per month. Our break even will be reached in 2022. Our last round valuation was about 5 million, and our current round valuation is 9 million. Our holding is in Amsterdam, and we're asking from the next $300,000 for a round size about 2 million, and we have a verbal commitment of 1 million up to date. We are going to the fund. 30% will be for research and development, supporting the tool and the security of the platform. 30% to hire talents, 10% for IP and legal, and 30% for marketing and sales. And we will be very glad to be introduced if you have the network to any aircraft maintenance expert or someone who have made analytics in the aviation industry. And also we are seeking to hire a chief financial officer to support our growth. Thank you so much. Thank you for your time.
Great, thanks. I mean, great pitch. I've already received some interest for investment from some of the audience via private message. But let's see what the investors have to say here. So let's open the floor for 15 minutes Q&A. Hassan, Rajiv, Christophe, over to you.
Sure, I can probably start. So you have 4 users, but what's showing is average monthly revenues is 0. Is that a typo or is that correct?
Yeah, we are not. We are in the pilot project with our users. Our go-to-market strategy is first to support the company in like a digital transformation using our platform, and how they can, from their legacy or how they are using their actual methods and tools to jump using our platform. So we started in the summer, and today we have 8 aircraft from Luxair, which is an European airline in Luxembourg, and 1 aircraft that had been reconfigured and certified by those users. And it was a pilot project before making providing a concrete offer to them.
Okay, I think so. It seems that it's still early in terms of the monetization, I guess, if you haven't been charging yet. The thing that I'm quite curious about is you showed the overall market size, but you're a SaaS business. How many actual potential customers are there for your product out there? And how are you going to be acquiring those? So like, it seems quite niche. I don't know how many people there are around the world that would be paying for the SaaS platform. If you could just, enlighten me on that, that would be great.
Excellent. Yes, we have a couple of different stakeholders that can use the platform. The basic one is the airlines. The airlines are always innovating their aircraft interiors. It's a daily job for them. So they're always making draft design concept to try, for instance, to reconfigure a full economy aircraft, adding 2 business class rows, or introducing premium economy, or adding a closet, or something, or adding Wi-Fi and stuff like that. So it's a daily job for them. So we can count more than 500 airlines with more than 20 to 30 aircraft, which is one of our targets. The second one is the supplier. So the supplier creates the furniture of the cabin, like the seats. Suppliers that create the seats need to integrate the seats into an airframe. So the airframe is produced by Airbus or by Boeing. If it's a new aircraft, it's a new order, or the aircraft is flying already and need to be reconfigured to be more competitive or to reach another target of customers. So the suppliers need to integrate their model within the aircraft interiors. So from their proposals to their engineering certifications, they need to create the cabin layouts. So it's a daily job for them. One of our suppliers, for instance, are creating just for the sales effort 800 different proposals per year. Just for your information, Airbus, for instance, are creating 7,200 different aircraft interior design per year. So the third type of customers is the certificator and the regulator. In Europe, we count like 300 to 400 different regulators. So their role is to use the design and verify all the means of compliance and the certification rules. For instance, they need to assure that every passengers will have oxygen mask in emergency situation. They need to assure that there is some clearance near the doors, so people can leave in 19 seconds the aircraft in case of emergency. The floor path lining the carpet is something also that need to be at certain position with a certain lights according to the seat configuration. So there is many of rules that need to be verified from the regulator and from the certificator. And today, as I showed in the first slide, the state of the art is to make this report. It's like a PDF that need to be stamped from the regulator, so the aircraft can fly and can operate. Otherwise, if we move a seat for 1 inch, the aircraft will not fly again until it will be redigitalized and verified from the regulators. And the fourth stakeholders is of course, the aircraft makers, the original equipment manufacturers like Airbus and Boeing, who are creating up to 1,000 aircraft per year. Hello?
Yeah, okay, thanks.
Okay, thanks. Welcome.
Christoph, go ahead. I'll jump in after you.
Wow. So first of all, you know, you were at Africa at 2019, if I'm not mistaken.
Exactly.
So it's great to see the progress. So well done.
Thank you so much.
I just have a couple of questions. So isn't the core customer target actually the airlines, and maybe the regulator for them to have tools to do all the things you've mentioned, and therefore isn't that a little, sorry to ask, dangerous to have Airbus as a first customer, because they might just unpacking everything you're doing and, you know, potentially replicating it to embed that in their offering to their customer, which are the airline. So you know, do you have I suppose it's very tough to sell to the airlines industry, especially in this current climate. So is that the case? The airline is your primary customer target. How are you going to approach them? And actually, isn't the COVID environment forcing airlines to be more agile and in particular be able to reconfigure cabins faster? And is that tool therefore not in a perfect position at this point in time to bridge a gap that maybe previously, you know, was less of a pain point? Is there an accelerator for you there, or what's your feeling? And then the last question is, can you talk about your team? Because you said 6 people, but you know, we invest first in the team before everything else. So can you tell us a bit more about the team? Sorry about the different question.
Yeah, let's start by the team. So we are 4 partners. Me as a CTO, I was working with different companies in Europe, in America, like Air France or Airbus or Zodiac in Texas. I had the back for aviation since 10 years, so I really like what we do, and we believe on the aircraft interior that will be the future of the aviation. The most advanced technology will be inside the cabin, because it's related to the passengers, who is considered before as a payload, but now the industry and 4.0 and all this digital transformation are now considering the passengers as a proactive consumer. But he is the CEO. He was the CEO of a big consulting company in France called P3. He used to work with different suppliers many years at Airbus as consultant. Nuruddin was business unit manager at Airbus. He for a couple of years, and now he's our expert in the cabin system integration. Mr. Habib Bifki was the CEO of Airbus Middle East Africa, and the CEO of Airbus corporate jet for the VIP aircraft worldwide. Then we have a fantastic team of engineers. Our IT lead, Mr. Kamil Sahabu, have more than 30 years experience in tech in general, in IT. Khalil Hajri has more than 15 years experience in 3D design within aircraft and within especially the aircraft interior, what we call the cabin. Used to work with different also stakeholders in many research and development projects in 3D design within CATIA for Airbus, for Boeing, and for many other stakeholders. We have also 2 engineers, Hassan Ibrahim and Marwa Khmiri. They have been joined ECHO since 3 years, and now they learned a lot of experience within the 3D design within the aircraft interiors. Our technology is a mix between parametric modeling, so we need to have people that are skilled first in the design and in the parametric way of doing design. It's not only designing dead things, so everything that we can access to the platform is dynamic. Then we have the IT part, and we are creating a smart database, and we are compiling all of that to different skills into a cloud solution, allowing streaming the aircraft interior design within the browser, which was a challenge at itself. This is why we started like since 5 years. We incorporated in 2018. We raised from Flat6Labs Tunis in the first cohort. And so we have more than 5 years in research and development. And we are really
Any of them in the
happy.
cap table?
Yes, the four, yes, let me come back to this. Yes, those are the fours in the four partners. So me, Mr. Habib, Badia, and Nuruddin we are the co-founder.
In the team, anyone in the team with a shareholding in the company?
With the team, no.
Just you.
We have stock options with the team.
But I think we don't have a lot of time, so maybe cover the other points and let's move to Rajiv's question. Sorry.
Okay, then Christophe asked me about the post-COVID-19 situation. Yes, Christophe, the industry now is moving around digital means and cost-effective solution, of course. And we discovered that we can also target the maintenance sector of the aircraft industry by first digitalizing and hosting the aircraft interior of the airlines, like we're doing, for instance, for Luxair. So we have 8 737-600 already digitalized. So we have all the inventories, all the cabin items, all the component manual maintenance, how to maintain the cabin as it is. Okay. Then they are looking for cost-effective solutions. So now the aviation industry are looking for 3D printing parts, for instance. They are looking for spare parts. Spare parts is parts like a seat, for instance, or an armrest of a seat, for instance. Okay, but it's not from the original supplier. It's a copy, but this copy needs to be certified, then to be installed on the aircraft. So they are trying to have agile and flexible solutions to be able to create future configuration due to this COVID-19. They need to reconfigure their aircraft. It's not the same traffic, it's not the same targets, it's not the same routes and flights. And also the natural situation that we are looking, or how we can scaling, is to promote this cabin online platform to be kind of a hub or a marketplace. This is why we are putting in place partnership with big companies that have the certification level, that are able to certify aircraft interior. So they make a reconfiguration, they make the design and the reconfiguration within our software, and then they verify within also our software the certificability of the and feasibility of such configuration. So they can stamp it and sell it to the airline, so we can go and proceed to make the modification in the supply chain or in the maintenance hub. Therefore, due to the COVID-19, and every one of us know the current situation for the travel industry, so we are trying to create a partnership with people that already exist in the market. The one who are talking to have more than 300 between airlines and leasing companies in the portfolio. So we can have a better market penetration, and also we can pivot a little bit our business model by offering new services, by hosting the aircraft within the platform and giving the access to the airlines to see all their documents, not in PDF, linked within like a PLM or a CRM or any other software, but with a smart space through our Cabin Online Designer platform, where we organize all this document to become digital, interactive, and easy to maintain and easy to reconfigure. So this is something that we probably will disclose in the beginning of 2021, kind of partnership to allow us to have better market penetration and to define a business model revenue according to hosting aircraft and being able to make proposals in a fast, easy, and cheap way to airlines.
Okay, great.
I hope I'm clear.
Cool. Thanks very much. I'll try to be quick. I've got two things, but they sort of related. One is more on the operational side, and then one has to do with valuation, so more on the financial side, but they are linked. You mentioned when the market doubles in terms of commercial airlines or aircraft, that goes to about 45,000. So we're working on, a market right now, a global market of 20 to 25,000 aircraft right now. So, that places a huge cap in terms of, what you're able to do. But if you're saying that this is a recurring business, and whether it's the OEMs or the airlines, they're constantly reconfiguring, and so a recurring SaaS model makes sense. I see that. My question related to that then is, if those are the customers that are going to see the value in this to pay for it on a recurring basis on your SaaS model, you're talking about OEMs, which is a monopolized market. You're talking about airlines. I'm making an assumption here, and please correct me if I'm wrong. These are entities which have pretty large budgets when it comes to some of this modeling, reconfiguring. So are you saying that your value proposition is the fact that you are simply digitizing what they're not doing and executing? So this is an execution business that justifies your valuation? Or are you saying that you've identified areas that they are not able to manage digitally, and you've created IP around that? And why I'm asking this is because for a pre-revenue business, you're saying my valuation was 5 million, I'm now looking at 9. On a pre-revenue business, I'm trying to understand whether there is that IP defensibility that warrants this, just the valuation that you're referring to.
Yes, Rajib, anyone is doing business right now. Aircraft are reconfigured, they are certified, and they're flying. What we are trying to do right now is to stream all the activities to reduce the timeline and the cost in general of such operation. It's recurrent. The aircraft life cycle is between 25 to 30 years. The aircraft reconfiguration can happen every 3, 5, 7 years. It depends on the airlines. Leasing company can do that, for instance, every 3 to 6 months when they change the ownership or from an airline to another, or from an operator to another. So it's in terms of projects, there is more than 2,000 projects per year. It's not huge, but to reach these 2,000 projects, first you need to generate at least 100,000 different proposals of configurations. Then different parties and entities will be involved to make this project happen. The suppliers, for instance, to provide their seed data to the airlines or to the let me say the integrator. Some airlines have not their engineering departments. Then they need to provide them with all the data so that the airline can make the simulation. And this is something today that is not fast. So they are trying to use FTPs, different mails, emails, conf call, and stuff like that. So we are not only looking to the reconfiguration project as it is. This is the end of the story. But before, there is a couple of months of works, of collaboration, of design, of updates to create a final aircraft reconfiguration. So this is why this platform is online, it's collaborative, it's like kind of smart space to stream and leverage all these activities toward the cabin. It's like a context computer-aided design. From a legacy perspective, all of them are using like softwares like CATIA or AutoCAD, which cost between 2,000 to 3,000 per year, up to 30,000 per year. It depends on the license and what it includes as features and everything. And therefore, I guess our price is competitive, and this is, in my opinion, the price for our entry into business strategy. Our aim is to support suppliers, airlines, leasing companies, OEMs, and regulators to stream their activities and make their journey easier than before by having a smart space to collaborate and to make it like a kind of a new standard of communication through this platform. So beyond the digitalization and the execution of the project, it's a means of communication that will allow to stream all the activities around the campus.
Excellent. I think it's time to move on to our last section. Before that, I have one question from the audience. Hatem is asking how reliable is the tool? In a sense, is it validated or approved by EASA or FAA?
Very nice question. No, it is not approved, like AutoCAD is not approved or CATIA is not approved by FAA or EASA. The responsibility always returns to the certificator. So sometimes, as I said, in the blueprint protocol, they are using like manual tools. Then now they are using manual procedures within softwares like AutoCAD, for instance, to measure the width in the aisle. So for instance, there is a rule that will say that the aisle need to have at least 20 inch in the width so people can cross the aisle of the aircraft on boarding and the planning. And this is something that is not automated. So we are automating that. Therefore, it's always the responsibility of the certificator, or what we call the aircraft airworthiness, that will make the stamp and validate the aircraft, and it's not the responsibility of any software.
All right, thanks for that, Amin. Let's hear from our investors. Do you want to invest now on the spot? Do you want to get into due diligence and have some upcoming calls, or do you want to pass on this opportunity?
I'll start. I think this is a pretty niche opportunity, which is great in many ways. I think for us at the current valuation relative to the stage that you're at, it would not be something that we would move forward on.
Here we go. That's clear. Thanks, Rajiv. Hassan, Christophe, what about you?
Sure. Again, I mean, I want to give you the benefit of the doubt and do a little bit more digging, but my concern would be related to the market size and potential growth of the business based on the SaaS model. So that's really, you explained it a lot, but I want to just see the numbers and see if it really does make sense. Is this going to be a niche product that will work and generate profits and be okay, or is this really something that scales and is a venture backable sort of business? That's the question that I still have that needs an answer to.
Fair. We have one curious investor. Thank you, Hassan. Christophe, what about you?
Yeah, I think I like software businesses that, on top of it, this one is like borderline deep tech. I think, unfortunately, I'm pretty incompetent in that field, and I like to invest in businesses that I pretty much understand. So I understand the software component very well. So that's a business I would want to track and see if I can, see some interesting development, because it seems to me like commercially you're not yet there. You know what I mean? And because I've seen you a year ago, I mean, I see the great progress on some of the things you've showed, particularly on the tech side. please don't take it wrong. I get the feeling that it's very, it's very engineer driven, and it would probably benefit a lot from having a more commercial focus and aggressivity. I mean, you should be beyond where you are right now with the stuff you've got, basically. There needs to be a Steve Jobs to every Steve Wozniak. So, I'm saying this because I get the feeling also the way you answered the question on this session. Again, it's no offense, but you tend to give engineers answer very complicated, very structured, pretty long. And when you're talking to business people or you're selling, you got to be going to the jugular. So I wonder if maybe in terms of your team structuring, there may be something to give some thoughts here in terms, and maybe that's one of the area you want to invest the funding in, from what I understand. But you need to maybe putting a much more impetus on the commercial side to show traction. I mean, 100K is not enough traction, and it's one customer, Airbus, which potentially can steal your cheese, So but I definitely would want to that's a business that potentially is of interest because of the SaaS component in the B2B market. So I definitely would like to keep talking to you guys. And again, same thing. If so unfortunately we're not. Oh, we have some airlines, that we're working with, KLM, Air France, KLM. So we could check again with them, and if we can help with that, we'd be happy. And that maybe is a good test, So if you want, I'll do an intro to some high-level people there and see where it takes you.
Another time, Christophe offering help. Thanks so much, Christophe. We need more investor offering help while saying no. Thank you so much, Amin and Ahmed. It was a great episode. Just want to remind everybody that we recently created a WhatsApp group so that the audience can share their thoughts and discuss the aftermath of the episode, maybe share articles, some global competitors, benchmarks, and let's get smarter together. We've also created a calendar for the next, where you can subscribe to all our upcoming episodes using only one link. You can see it in the chat box. That's a wrap for today. Thanks again for the founders and the investors to be here, and for Flat6Labs to partnering with us. We are live every Thursday, so keep following our social media to have the updates of the next episodes. Have a great evening, everyone, and stay safe and stay positive.
Well done, guys.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Kian. Bye.
Thanks,
Pleasure,
Kian. See you.